Right, thank you for clicking on this video, and as the title suggests, this video will be diving into the sun, what is sunlight, and why is it so good for us? So, let's begin with what is sunlight? Well, this giant ball of gas burning in the sky via processes of nuclear fusion, I'm pretty sure, that's from my physics knowledge, I do not do physics any longer, but that's from my knowledge about 147 million kilometers away, or about 93 million miles away, if you use the imperial system. Um, so yeah, this big ball, burning ball of gas. You're probably wondering, how does it affect me and my life? Well, it affects it in probably a lot more ways than you can think. It is very important, if not one of the probably the easiest thing that you can do to improve your health in a major way. Okay, so yeah, sunlight, it consists of all the different wavelengths from big long wavelengths to very, very, very small ones. But we are mainly interested in ultraviolet light, and specifically UVB light. This is pretty short wavelength. It's shorter wavelength than visible light, which is like what you can see, what's around you. We will be getting onto a bit of visible light later with the eye and the circadian rhythm, but this is more to do with what you can't see. So if you ever get those lights that you can put in a hotel room and you can see where stuff is, this is kind of like what that is. So you've got your UVB light, and this hits the skin, and when it hits the skin, it takes 7-dehydrocholesterol and it stimulates it to transform into vitamin D3. Now, vitamin D3 is a very important nutrient, vitamin, because it is one of the essential nutrients, which means that we cannot make it by ourselves, which means that we only ever need to eat it, which is vitamin D2. I mean, you can also eat vitamin D3 in the forms of very fatty fishes, but this is about sunlight, not fish. So, yeah, you either have to eat it or your body has to be helped to make it via the sun. Hopefully you appreciate this coloured and drawing and the better whiteboard pens, as some of the other videos, the whiteboard pens are on the verge of death. So yeah, the UVB light hits the dehydrocholesterol, stimulates it to transform into the vitamin D3, but vitamin D3, it still kind of does nothing. So this calciferol, as it is also called, goes to the liver, which is here, and this, where it is then metabolized into this thing here, which is 25 dihydroxy vitamin D3, which still does nothing. I know there's a lot of bodily processes that result in nothing formed, but this is where the fun starts. It then goes to the kidney, where it's converted into calciferol, which is a hormone which is very important for our health, as it increases calcium absorption into our body. Now, calcium absorption is extremely important because our bones are made of calcium, our muscle health is increased by calcium, our teeth are good with calcium. If you want to watch the video on how muscles work and how they grow, it's probably one of the only videos on there. Yeah, calcium is very important with the actual contraction of the muscle, so that's very important. As well as this, it's also good for the mood. It reduces symptoms of depression. It can help reduce blood pressure to a healthier level. It can help reduce the risk of heart disease, and it can also prevent some types of cancers, research is suggesting. So all of this is very important because, yeah, you need vitamin D. D3, as I said before, it's an essential nutrient. It's very essential, yeah. So the next thing is something that's slightly, you've probably heard of this. It's called the circadian rhythm. Now, the circadian rhythm is very important. There's obviously a lot of different things. You probably watch an Andrew Huberman video about it, but the circadian rhythm simply, it like controls when you go to sleep and when you wake up, and all that kind of stuff, and when you feel tired and when you feel all that. And I'll explain that in a bit of detail here. So, your cells, such as the cells in your eye, as you can see here, they are the sunlight from the sun. All of this, it's more towards like the bluer lengths. So that's why you get like the blue light exposure. The bluer lengths go into your eye, and these stimulate the brain to produce hormones such as cortisol, which is responsible for stress and alertness and keeping you awake, as well as melatonin, which is responsible for calming you, relaxing you, and making you go to sleep. So yeah, it is also responsible for other hormones such as insulin, vasopepsin, and acetylcholine. I do not know what those are or how to pronounce them. So yeah, it's just a little interesting fact. You might know what they do. I might do a video on them in the future. So yeah, there's obviously other stuff that you can visible from the sun, which is like skin protection. It can obviously cause skin cancer if you have it in high enough doses, but you can get a nice tan. It just improves health. So yeah, I just like the sun. I didn't really know most of this stuff before researching it. I just knew that I wanted to make a video on it because I found it so interesting. So if you found it as interesting as I have, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you later.